Hi guys, we're back with the second video for the emoji cons. All right, so what we're going to do now is you have your two drawings, okay, the two ones that you're going to do. Okay, so remember one is going to be on one side of the stick and on the other side is the other emotion. All right, now, before we start to add color, okay, you can simply color them in, okay, the colors that they are. So we have like an orange around the edges, we have a yellow, the black, the brown, just like this. Or you can take it to the next level and you can add a little more value to it. So you can see the difference between these two. This one has lights and darks of different colors and it blends from dark to light. Okay, this is value. And you can change this by changing the pressure of your crayons or layering colors. So you can go with the coloring in, or if you want to challenge yourself, you can start to do the value. So I'm going to show you the value since I know you all can color and you can all match colors to the emojis. So I'm going to show you how to blend these colors that are on here. Okay, so what you're going to first do is take out any crayons that match the emojis. All right, not the emojis are not just yellow. They're yellow orange, they're red orange. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull all of these things out so that we have those available for us, so that we have a reference to look at when we are ready to do the emojis. Okay, so the first thing is we're going to start to take the yellowy colors. Okay, so I'm going to start out with the guy that's up here. Right, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just color on the outside. Now, the reason we're not cutting out anything yet is in case you go out of the lines, no big deal. Okay, you can color this in and you can cut it out so you can't even see the lines that you messed up on. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm pressing down kind of really hard with my crayon. Now I'm going to lighten up with my crayon. Okay. And I'm going to kind of shade in. And the whole time that I'm doing this, I'm looking at an image. And I'm looking at an image actually on my phone. But you can pull up the image. And remember, if you're in class, you're going to be looking at some images that I'm going to project onto the board. All right. So starting to lighten this up in here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to the lighter yellow. Because this was yellow. This was a dandelion color. I really like to use the Crayola crayons because they're really thick with wax. But any crayons you could do this with. If you don't have crayons at home, you could use colored pencils. They would work really nice for layering. I wouldn't use markers, but if that's all you have, then go for it. Okay? Crayola twistables work really well as well. So what happens with the crayons and colored pencils is you can layer them nicely. It's really difficult to do with markers. So I'm layering, and what I'm doing is pressing down a little more so that you really start to get the layer of the color, okay, that's on here. Can you see that? I was trying to mess with the lights to see if you could see it a little better. Now I'm going to take the orange, and I'm going to go around the edges because the very edge of the emojis is a little darker. And in this case, the orange kind of comes in to the sides here of the faces of the emojis. Some emojis have this darker orange by the cheeks. This happy one has rosy cheeks. So I'm going to kind of add this. I'm not doing it real dark. I'm kind of doing it medium so that I can always fix it if I don't like it. If you go too dark right away, it's really hard to fix the crayon. And one little tip is if you do a lot of crayon too much, you can take your finger now and you can kind of scrape it. You see how it comes off? So you can actually scrape some of the crayon off to get some of the crayon off if you messed up. So that's really cool too. All right, so starting to layer color. And then I'm going to go back to this one again. One more time, I'm going to layer it right on top, and this kind of blends everything together. Yep, so you didn't think you were just going to color this in regular, did you? See, if we layer the colors and create value, it makes them look more realistic and more advanced so that you would never know that a 4th or 5th grader did these. All right, so after I'm done this, I'm going to go to the next step. If you look inside of the mouth is not actually black. It's like a dark brown. So I grabbed 2 different browns, a burnt sienna and then an actual brown. Okay, so I'm going to color this in. I'm going to do it rather dark because this whole area is nice and dark. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over with the other brown, and I'm going to add just a little more value to it. Not the whole thing. I'm just kind of coloring in the top part here and over here. Remember, the teeth are white, so I really don't want to color in the teeth part. And then there's actually a really, really skinny brown strip right here. I'm going to carefully do that. Now I'm going to blow this off. Sometimes if we smear the crayons, it gets everywhere, so we don't want to, as much as you can, try not to wipe this off, okay, because you'll notice in here there are some crayons. So what you can do if that happens is you can just kind of get an eraser and try to erase some of the crayons that are in the center, especially by the white part. All right, so now we're doing the tongue. Okay, so I got a pink and a red to do the tongue. I'm going to start with the pink. Okay, always start with the lighter color first. If you mess up, it's easier to make darker, not lighter. All right, so if I look at the tongue is rather pink, and then it adds a little, it's a darker on closer to the mouth. So what I'm going to do, and it's a little darker on the edge, so I'm going to layer the color again. And I'm going to layer it around the edge here as well. Okay. The last step is the eyes. And the eyes are rather simple because they're actually black in this case. Some of the emojis, like the one here, the one I have showed you, they're brown. Okay, so they're not actually black. So if you look really closely at one of the emojis, they're not black. Some of the more expressive ones are black. Okay, like this. Oh, no, not that guy. Where's my sad guy? Oh, my sad puppy eyes right there. Okay, so you're going to kind of outline these because they have a black outline around them. And you are done your first emoji con. And then what we're going to do is we're going to move to the second. For the last step of the project, you're going to watch the next video, and I can't wait to see what you guys have created.